right, you guys, welcome. It is Wednesday night, and I am with Moreno Valley Trustee 5 candidate Daryl Terrell, and Daryl has some news he wants to share with you guys in regards to some good news for our veterans out there. He also has a program that he wants to talk about in regards to our students here in Moreno Valley and opportunities that we can't sit on our laurels about. And I just want to say, Daryl, welcome to the show as usual.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate being here.
Yep, always. Like I said, win, lose, or draw, you need to do your own podcast and keep doing your own podcast, because that mind of yours is Frankenstein monster type, the doctor, because you're constantly thinking of things that are doing, and one thing I like about your mind is you are always thinking of the common good, not like individual Daryl, this, that, this. But before we get into it real quick, you guys, do me a favor. Please like, share, and subscribe to this. And what's even more important than that, we are going into election season. As you know, Daryl Terrell is running for a trustee District 5, a alumni of RCC. This guy knows what he's talking about. He isn't just some academia person sitting there saying, well, in the next cocktail, I was a PhD and I did my master's and my thesis at Harvard and, MIT. And, no, this guy was actually sitting on the quad, screwing up like the rest of us. I mean, he's somebody you can relate to. So if you have children that are currently going to RCC, this is a trustee that understands what they're talking about when they come to him and say, I have this problem, or what about this idea? So this is the type of person. So it's more important that you share this with your neighbors. Share it on your local platforms, and just share it to people that you think that might want to hear, and that might be even voting in this election. And, this is every election they say is pivotal, but the only elections that really mean anything are your local elections. Because guess what? The federal government does not affect how we run our schools in the states. It's a locally controlled situation, and I think it's important, especially for our young people who are leaving high school. They're going into college, and they want some options. And Daryl's got some great news coming up that I heard about. And Daryl, this is your show on Wednesdays. Dude, if I got to produce your show, I'll produce it. Okay, but you need to do a podcast, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
So, but I think you're going to win personally. So, tell us what's up, man. Tell us what's happening.
Man, I'm telling you, Moreno Valley. Shout out to Moreno Valley College, man. Mm-hmm. Because if you guys haven't heard the latest news, October 7th, our veterans up and bound program at Moreno Valley College received $1.4 million from the Department of Education, man. So shout out to them,
man, absolutely,
for all the work that these folks do for our veterans, especially women, and it's something we should be all proud about, because these folks have put their lives on the line, and families have is part of this, and we should give them a big round of applause, because that's really awesome. Moreno Valley College, shout out to you, all the administrators, and this money is going to do a lot, especially for our women. So veterans who are women, you should take advantage of this, and because what this funding will be doing is, in this upward bound, it will provide academic counseling, financial aid, financial literacy. And here's something else that some of you guys, I don't know, you listeners out there know this, that the most residents that live here are veterans that are Gulf War folks who vote Gulf War veterans, which is like 46.2%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost half, yeah.
Yeah, and 37% are under the age of 55. So, I mean, this is a win-win.
It's a big win. Yeah, it's a big win. I mean, my understanding from what I've read on some of the program, what you told me, was California has colleges everywhere.
Yes.
We're the third biggest state out there, because Alaska's the biggest, Texas is second, and of course California. Continentally, Texas is the biggest state, but size-wise, Alaska's the biggest state. But out of all the colleges that we have here in California, we are one of three. Did you say 3 colleges that got the scholarship? or got the grant?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, what I read, that's tremendous, man. Because Moreno Valley College is doing things to help the veterans. They're doing a lot, and this program itself. Some of you veterans out there that's listening that maybe want to go to back to college, community college. Here's what this Veterans Upward Bound program does. It seeks out veterans who've been out of high school for 5 or more years, or have a disability or low income, and are potentially first generation college students. So that's a lot of folks may not know that. A lot of you veterans out there may not know that this exists. And if you do go to the college, there's support for you out there, and then this money is going to do a lot to do what we can and to increase the rate of veterans graduating from Moreno Valley College. It's going to do a lot to bring more programs into our community, because this is a great thing for veterans, and like I said, especially for the women that's out there.
Yeah, because let me say why I think it's a great program.
Okay.
Because usually when scholarships like this go out, it usually goes out to where there's a big, strong, active duty military presence. So one of the nearest Air Force bases that's the active duty base, one of the biggest ones out there mobility-wise is Travis Air Force Base near San Francisco. So usually, you got a lot of military personnel up there that go into the local college, right? So you would think a grant like this would go to where there's active duty military people, that are actually taking advantage of their benefits and doing that. But this came to a reserve base that has been closed for now about 20 years. And there's nothing but reservists there. And a lot of our reservists aren't necessarily from Moreno Valley. They're coming in from LA and San Diego and stuff like that. But like you said, this is the 7th largest conglomerate area of military veterans in the United States.
Yes.
So a lot of people are not aware of that. So to get this, to be one of 3 colleges to get this grant, let's say about $5 million.
Yes, 1.4 million.
Yeah, yes. 1.4.
Yes.
For our veterans, and then you got a lot of female veterans in the Air Force. Okay, a matter of fact, the Air Force has the biggest group of women out of all the branches. Okay. So that's $1.5 million for not just, the dudes, because whenever we talk about like the military, for some reason we think because the majority of the military is men. But ladies, this is an opportunity for our military females to take advantage of these opportunities. I think that is awesome. I think what they did is great. I don't think we do enough for the military, because it's not just the fact that they go out there, because we got policemen that go out there and put their lives on the line.
Yes. But
the military folks, families sacrifice. Okay, I'm not saying that the police officers families don't, but they don't sacrifice like the military. Because what if your wife or your spouse has a great job and then they get a new duty station? Then that person usually has to leave that great paying job to go work at the base post exchange for like $9 an hour when they were making $30. So there's a lot of sacrifice to it. So I think that's an awesome thing to be awarded. And this is wait a minute. Is this Moreno Valley or this RCC?
No, it's Moreno Valley.
You sure it's not Norco?
No, it's not Norco. It's Moreno Valley specific. Or Mobile. It's specifically Moreno Valley College's Veterans Resource Center, which I visited a couple of months ago. Talked to a nice lady over there named Lizette, and we was talking about veterans issues at the college. And they still have a temporary home. Hopefully, they will get a permanent home down where the Welcome Center is.
Now, were they specific? Have they gotten to the details of how you would be able to apply for this scholarship yet? Or because I know it just got announced, but I'm sure it's going to come down the pipe later to what would qualify you to get some of this stuff.
Oh no, they haven't announced that, but I'm pretty sure in the next maybe several weeks. Okay. They will have some, because this is a big thing. So, they're going to have the A game and B game ready to rock and roll so they can expand services for the veterans.
Right. One of the reasons I'm asking is because I believe I meet the criteria of being under 55. I'm only 52. So as you guys know, I have a lot of degrees, and if I can, be eligible to expand my knowledge, I think I really want to take a Spanish class to, I have broken Spanish, but slang Spanish is what I speak.
Well, you should do it.
But if there's an opportunity for me to take advantage of that program, and it's right, the college is right down the street, you damn sure know I will. I do not leave money on the table.
Well, yeah, you should. I mean, you guys put, like I said, serve this country. So we should do everything we can to support the veterans and make sure that they have the resources they need, the courses, financial aid, whatever supportive service they need to be successful.
Absolutely.
Not only at college, but in life.
Absolutely. So let's get into it, Daryl. Thanks for that update and that news thing. So if you're a veteran out there, and you're going to Moreno Valley College, then the word on the street is we just got a grant for almost $1.5 million. So when you go to the admin office, inquire about that. If you go to the Veterans Resource Center, inquire about that, because in addition to probably the GI Bill that you are getting, there might be some additional resources that you could use without using your GI Bill. So you can use your GI Bill for your graduate degree or your your undergrad degree. So you could save some money doing that. So Daryl, man, what's been going on, man? Tell us what's happening. I mean, there's a lot of good news going on out here that we've heard about that we can't disclose right now, but great things are happening in Moreno Valley. And the election is November 8th. So let's talk about the systems that you want to talk about.
Well, like you were saying, you nailed it. It is the fact. Good things happen because you have the right leadership in positions to make these things continue to happen. I mean, it's about people, again, that have their finger on the pulse of the community and knows what's going on in the community, and not out of the loop what's happening in the community. But like I was mentioning before, being, and I've put this, I've been at Lowe's for 11 years. And like I said, because I posted a video about this, and one of the things that I meet all kinds of interesting people. And so, like I was talking to you guys last week about, but let me go back, because last week I mentioned you guys about we had the opening. Now we had the Veteran Resource Center received this money, but also in our own backyard again, I attended this opening, this dedication of the Moreno Valley College School of Public Safety, and that's a big thing for this community because it's training our public safety people, it's paramedics, EMTs. Your correction officers, your probation officers, and what they're doing is meeting the needs in our community. And so on that same note, being, as I talked about earlier, that's what Moreno Valley College has to be. It has to be an institution that meets the challenges that's in our community. And we are doing that. But however, like I said, working at Lowe's, you come across a lot of interesting people, like I said. And one of the people I came across, little did I know, I came across like I was telling you about CSERT. It's a research and development down at UCR. It's all off of Columbia. And what they do is part of the Barnes Engineering School of Engineering. And I met this one guy. His name, I didn't know this, he's a doctor. He's a PhD. His name is Kent Johnson, and he's a research and he basically deals with hydrogen batteries, and he was talking about his research, what he's doing. But I received a letter from him, and I just wanted to read a little part of it. But this tells you guys, about meeting the challenges. When we are talking about, like Donovan was talking about a couple of weeks ago, about when we had the supply shortage. Right. And the thing is, you need truck drivers. Then we should meet that challenge. Okay. So Mr. Kent, he wrote this letter to me. I'm just going to read it. I'm going to post it on my website. And it says, I believe Mr. Terrell, he was talking about my we were talking about personality, energy will serve him well with the Riverside Community Board of Trustees. And he says, he furthered in this letter, I can't go through the whole letter, but it says, Mr. Terrell and I talked about connecting the research at UCR with the new educational programs at Moreno Valley College. And he says, in addition to my role for performing research in the Missions Infused Research Group, I'm working with local community colleges. He says, Riverside City College, Rio Hondo College, and San Bernardino College to support new courses for growing need of relocation of California testing headquarters, the California Air Resource Board to Riverside. But he says his group was pivotal in the CARB relocation, the California Air Resource Board, and continue to support their moves with the training at all levels. He says, I see Mr. Terrell and I working together to continue to develop these future educational opportunities. And he says, I give my full support of his candidacy for the Riverside Community College District Board of Trustees. So what's significant about this, listeners out here, is the fact that the things that I talk about, some people, like I said, I always quote about Bobby Kitten, some men see things as they are and say why. I dream of things that never were and say why not. And here's a perfect example of a PhD who does research in renewable energies, hydrogen fuel cells. And think about the possibility, unlimited possibilities of what we can do together at Moreno Valley College, creating courses, new degrees like applied science or renewable energy associate's degree or certification programs. But also, too, think about our community. We work with a research institution like that. We could bring industries into the community that we only could dream of. Things that could help not only the environment, put people to work, but it would raise Moreno Valley even higher. So my thing is, we have to put the right people in there, and that's what I'm saying. The kind of people I met, it's just like I met about a week ago. I met a fella from Tilden and Coyle. It's a construction company. They're doing some construction on some of our schools around here, new construction. And one of these fellows came to where I work at. I work at self-checkout usually. And I've been at Lowe's for 11 years. So you meet people like this and they tell you their stories and you have a conversation. Because I'm a very talkative guy. That's just me. I am. So I'm guilty of that. But
you're people friendly.
Well, yeah, thank you. But the thing is, you learn about people. Because, listening what he was saying, and I would just ask him how things are going. He said, oh, they're going well. But he said, we can't find enough qualified construction workers they could call in. He said even the unions are short of workers, qualified workers.
Really?
Yes. Wow. And that's throughout the whole United States when you think about only this area. But the people are aging out.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. The people are aging out, and to all our baby boomers and the people that have been long, this is what a problem that is happening. Especially remember you used to have all these old Rotary clubs, and your dad and your grandfather used to be members of certain clubs.
Yeah.
But as we were coming up, they kept the doors closed to us, and now the clubs are dying. Like I'm a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, right? There was a chapter here in Moreno Valley.
Yeah.
And I remember I went to one of the meetings. And it was so disingenuous to the younger people that it turned us off. And I refused, and I went down to San Diego where I was a little bit more welcomed. Yeah. And this is what's happening to a lot of industries that have older people. They now realize, oh my gosh, we didn't train the younger, the next generation, and now there's going to be a shortfall. So, let's say I'm in construction right now.
Yeah.
And I'm a master constructor.
Yeah.
Now I'm old now. I can't get on the roof like I used to. So now I'm going to have to pay a guy to come in, something that I could usually do myself. But now I'm paying way more money, and the person is less skilled than he should be because there are no apprenticeship programs like there used to be. Yes. You know what I mean? They discontinued that stuff. So I just wanted to
that's one of the things he was talking about because he's not the only one I talked to, but we were talking about this, and there was another fella that had told me the same thing, like I was speaking about last week about this fence installer. He was saying the same thing. You get people coming in. Even I met this one fella. He's a owner or manager of this fabrication, metal fabrication, right off of Harley Knox. And it's been here in Moreno Valley a long time. He said they get people in there, they can't even do basic mathematics and stuff. So that's telling you how the school system has really, I hate to say this, dumbing down on producing. You just don't, putting people out there that's ready to, that's equipped to the jobs out there. So,
sure.
So my thing is, well, like I was mentioning him, I said, well, wait a minute. Now, Moreno Valley College, we in the perfect position to link up with a company like this. And this is going to a bigger, one of my ideas that I want to share with you guys that I have. And to create a workforce, a pipeline of folks that could go into those positions in a short period of time. Yeah, I mean, when I mean short period of time, it could be 9 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever. But my point is colleges like Moreno Valley College should be one of those actors in the community that can respond to changing times when it comes to job training, having educated, skilled workforce. So like I was saying before, P&G, I use that example. They're looking for forklift drivers. And think about it. Here again, we don't have anything. We don't have any career tech education programs at Moreno Valley College that could train somebody like that. But see, that's the missing thing that I talk about when I talk about the status quo. People say, what do you mean about the status quo? I mean, well, look in your community versus what your career tech education program. It doesn't reflect it. So what we can do, and when I'm elected as a trustee, is to work with those kind of industries out there. And here's something else. Here's something else. Donovan brought this up last week. He talked about these empty warehouses. Now, we got empty warehouses. Well, let's put it to good use. Now, that's part of the program that I wanted to tell you guys. I posted on my page. Is creating these centers of high growth industry accelerated training. And what these centers would do would house short-term programs meant to provide enough hands-on experience that the high-growth industry employers would hire those students without significant industry experience. And so, how we would go about doing this, we would partner with our city, Riverside County, the business and labor community to offer accelerated training in the ranges of fields at these vacant warehouses. We could lease them. The Moreno Valley College could lease these with the help of the city and the county, and we could use some of the money in the labor department to fund these folks who go through these training programs. And Moreno Valley would run these sites that will combine classroom and hands-on experience too. And this, like I said before, we could offer a 4 to 18 week program, earn and learn training program that would lead to industry certifications in areas such as healthcare, logistics, building and construction, manufacturing, automotive. I mean, we have unlimited possibilities, but you got to have the right people in these positions who think like that. Because, like I said, I hear someone talking about a problem, then maybe that's a way that we can address that issue. Okay. And just like when I went to get my car done, over there at Moss Brothers. I was talking to one of them.
How much did it cost you?
Oh, actually, it didn't cost me. Well, I'm still under that little warranty.
Yeah, the warranty. Okay, good. But keep your car up. But
yeah. I don't mind because that's my investment. It's like I don't own a home, but my car is my investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I talked to this fellow over there. And you think about it, he was a customer at Lowe's too. I meet a lot of these people. Yeah. And I asked him, do you guys...
Well, that's how me and you met. Initially, other than city council.
Yeah, exactly. And I asked him about technicians. You got Honda, you got Toyota, you got all
Hyundai.
These. Exactly. But these guys are trained technicians that they could teach students who want to do it. But however, Moreno Valley College does not have automotives. You got to go to RCC.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
Okay.
And I'm going to come at you from a student's aspect.
Okay.
By being a trained technician, what is the motivation? And we know everybody's motivation in this world is money. So, okay, I'm listening to this podcast. I'm listening to what you're saying, Daryl, Terrell. So what is a technician? What's so significant about being a technician versus being an employee?
Well, employee is just you just employ. Technician is you got specialized training.
So does that mean specialized money?
Well, it would, because you're taking it to a different level. I mean, the higher you go,
the more
money you get, because basic on your specialized field. Like someone who fixed a hybrid battery will get paid more because it's a specialized trade. You just can't blow Joe off the street and say, "Hey, go over here and fix his battery."
Or better yet, let me break it down so people can understand this in layman's terms. You have a general practitioner doctor, right? Yeah. But he wants to make more money. So what does he do? He goes and gets certified as a plastic surgeon to do a specialized operation, right?
Yeah.
So it would be similar to that.
Yeah, it'd be just like what you explained it better than I did. Because I mean, because that's what Donovan said. That's why I like the RCC so much, because you have professors that did what Donovan did, put it in layman's terms. That's why I like that.
Right.
But for me, it's the same thing with what he just explained to people. He got a certificate. He went out there and earned it in that field, so he should get paid.
Right, he's going to get more. Yeah, a lot more than if he's doing his regular.
Yeah, than somebody working at
practitioner job.
Yeah, so that's why it's so important that we have this kind of linkage that's out there with these certification programs and associate's degrees to go along with it. But again, if you have that kind of type of linkage, you can bring other industries, like I said, into the community.
So let me ask you this: as somebody who's vetting you for a job here,
yes,
because that's what you're actually interviewing for. What does Moreno Valley technically offer in regards to specialized programs other than general education and this stuff? Is there any programs that you know of in Moreno Valley off the top of your head that I would say, okay, I don't have to go down to RCC, I don't have to go to Norco, I'm going to go to Moreno Valley to be specialized in cybersecurity, and that job is mostly like either working for a corporation or the government.
Yes, cybersecurity, and I think it's some media, arts and media,
IT
type. Yeah, more things like that. That's what. But you have to, like you said, you have to remember we live more in a blue collar town,
right.
And
meaning beers and nuts, people, beers and nuts.
And we don't have, like I said, the
pretzels. We get pretzels.
Support.
Right.
Support what you're talking about. And the thing is, it's a mixed match because of the fact that we don't have those type of industries. It is to support that. And like my whole philosophy is this: people, if you want to go to college, that's fine. Bravo, we'll help you get there. But college is not for everybody. You shouldn't have to live in poverty.
Absolutely.
So, but we don't have to.
I'm going to cut you off. One of the biggest lies told to the generations after the baby boomers was the fact that if you go to college, you're going to get a great job. And isn't it funny that the baby boomers and the World War II vet, the greatest generation, they're the ones that cut all of these programs that basically cut us off at our knees, because there's a lot of Generation Xers, our generation, that have degrees, but there are no jobs. They ship the jobs overseas.
Yeah, and that's the big problem, because a lot of people that I've talked to said it was a waste of time. If they had known that there was another alternative they might have done it. But when you have parents they're saying, you'll be the first in our family to graduate from college, all that pressure on you, and you're thinking in your own mindset, you say, man, if I graduate, I'm going to give me a decent job, I'm going to make this kind of money.
And that's not true.
It's not the reality.
It's not true. And if anything, it's turned into the fact that they keep telling us this BS, to which now we found out that all you get once you graduate is all this damn debt.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take you. You're probably most likely never going to pay it off, because the jobs that you get never equate to the level of education that you have.
Yes. And that's
it's a big scam.
And that's the thing about trade schools. When we look at these private trade schools and stuff, people pay thousands of dollars to go to be settled in debt, and they call it train and pray. That's a term.
Training pray, like
you pray, you train, and you pray, you get a job afterwards.
Right.
Instead, you get loaded with a bunch of debt, and so I mean, is it worth it?
Yeah, but even now with the AI, artificial intelligence, you got the simplest jobs like cashiers,
Yeah.
They're working on the truck drivers now with the AI and the self-driving vehicles and all this other stuff. So now, I mean, even in your most simplest vocational jobs, you're being replaced by the robots.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Community colleges has to be more flexible. Should be able to meet those challenges. When society changes to things like that, then we should be able to go along with it to match to what they're changing to, so we can prepare people for it. And some people, work at Lowe's, what they say at self-checkout. Well, they're going to take away jobs. Oh, yeah, that's true. But you know what? Learn how to fix the machines.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry
pivot,
I say that,
pivot.
But it won't. Like I tell people, technology is going to keep coming. It's not going to stop.
Go away. Right.
It's not going to go. You're not going to.
It's the new industrial revolution. It's more of the electronic revolution.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like these warehouses are not the same warehouse your dad or
that took 300, 400 people to move boxes.
Yeah, or having a machine a greasy forklift going through there. You have more robotic.
Well, it's robotic or the 3D printers.
Yeah, exactly.
You just print it right there, and there's your part, and you sit and you ship it off. It doesn't take a lot of people. You just print it.
But you learn how to do it. See, that's the thing that you see, like you just said, you teach people how to do those so they could be more employable or more marketable. And then just like fix it. Because, I mean, people say, well, I don't want to. Well, that's like my dad. When he worked at GM for about 40 years.
Great jobs back in the day.
But they start changing over to be robotics. Instead of him retiring, he learned how to do it. And here's a guy that graduated from high school. And like he used to tell me, I said, how you get trained, Dad? He said, I just walked up to the plant and they taught me how to do things.
Right.
But now things are different. But this thing, like everything else, instead of being resistant to change, people have to do it, or you'd be left behind.
You're gonna be left behind, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what Moreno Valley College has to do, because a lot of things, like you said, we train for, they're gonna be obsolete.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to be flexible enough to start something new.
And you get not just flexible enough. I believe you have to be young enough, because some of us are like too old to really learn something new. What's that old saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
But I know you have to do it if you really want to finish paying off your house, or put your kids through college, helping them do that. Specific groups in this country, we are really going to have to either start doing what we did before and get back to group economics, to where we can all live together so that we can help each other raise up, or we're just going to fail altogether, because a lot of groups do that. Like right now, Moreno Valley is mostly Hispanic. The Inland Empire is mostly Hispanic. It's always been. Again, I'm going to say that again. California was Mexico. This place has always been, to me, in my opinion, majority Latin, Hispanic, Native Hispanic, whatever you want to call it. They just didn't, we know certain colonizers don't include people because the numbers don't match for their needs. But that's history. But, we have certain groups here that know how to practice group economics, and they're doing it at the detriment of other groups. And I'm sorry, people. I'm a black man myself, and the bottom line is, if we can't stick together, you can't blame other groups for their success. They're going to go out there and get it. Like you said, Daryl, I do not think college is for everybody.
That's just reality.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter, it doesn't make sense. Athletics isn't for everybody. Not everybody's going to be the next Deion Sanders. Not everybody's going to be the next LeBron James coming straight out of high school. That's just not going to happen. Even though we do have Mr. Kawhi Leonard straight out of this area.
Yeah.
So, but not everybody's going to be a Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
So we've really got to start thinking in a 21st century fashion that nobody's coming to save us. We are on our own out here, and if we don't make the right decisions in regards to our own personal satisfaction and where we want to be in life and what our vocation is going to be, what we're going to do, part of that is electing the right people that have a vision other than going to the next cocktail party to talk about how great they were and what schools they attended and who they know from, New York University and, Piedmont and all these other things, and start addressing what our next generation needs to do. Because when I was in college, I would always ask myself, other than seeing the signatures on my diplomas, who are these people? What do they really do?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I remember when I was in high school and I didn't know what I was going to do if I didn't go to college. I had no idea. Right. It was like when I think, oh my God, am I going to shrivel up and die, or will I be on a caboose, or will I be working somewhere?
Sure.
But I'm sitting here thinking about what you just said about that, and I, as a high school student, someone asked me, what do you want to be? I was one of those kids that's like, I want to be in the NBA, man. Right. I want to play in the Olympics. I want to play for the Lakers.
Everybody wants to be an athlete, especially black students, black males. We always want to be the Al Bundy of our situation. We're going to be the next Dr. J, Michael Jordan, whatever it is. And
I know my coach, we watched this movie called, it was on CNN. It was a documentary about the new cotton field, and it was like the NBA. And I started really thinking about myself, what if I don't make it? And I really started thinking, I better try to find a career
to fall back on.
Yeah. And that's when I really started thinking about, what do I want to do? That's the first time reality started hitting me. How many people actually make it to the NBA? Because the guy breaking
Less
down.
Less than 1%.
Yeah. And he was saying that really opened my eyes, but what do I really want to do? Right. So I was like, dang, I better figure out what I want to do. Do I want to go to college? What I want to do in college? Yeah. And it was strange.
When reality hit you.
When reality hit. Yeah. It's like, okay, was I going to be a political science major? I said, what is political science?
Well, you can work in a lot of campaigns. Yeah. And there's money in politics, you guys. There's money in politics.
Yeah. But I really didn't know, because I was like, do I want to be a lawyer?
Yeah.
And they said, if I want to be a lawyer, where do I go? And he said, you got to be in political science. I didn't have no idea what those things were.
Or history, have a history.
Yeah, exactly.
You're good at remembering things.
Yeah, and so I didn't.
Paralegal, something.
Exactly. So what you were saying, I had no idea what I really wanted to do, but that was the reality of it. But the point is, like you were saying, we have to have people that think outside of the box, because everybody is, like you said, the reality is college ain't for everybody. Right. That's just the reality. People don't want to face the fact that college is not for everybody.
Well, Daryl, as a candidate, and I'm just going to say that this is my opinion, and a lot of people agree with me with this.
Okay.
These Generation Yers and these millennials, they are on some different shit. Straight out. I mean, the way they think, the way they do things, and don't get me wrong, these are some smart kids. They are smart. I mean, the worst day that ever happened to me in my life is when my kids left. I didn't know the TV password. I didn't know how to set up the internet, the router. That's one of the times I was like, damn, I wish my kids, were here, because they could do it like that, lickety split, right?
Yeah.
And it's second nature to them. I mean, I see kids when I go to Lowe's or Walmart. Yeah. I see 2-year-old kids in baskets with their mom's phone. Yeah. Playing games.
Yeah. That's funny, because I asked this one lady, I said, how old is your kid? Mm-hmm. Oh, 3 years old. He knows how to get on YouTube.
Right. And now remember, when we grew up, there was Pong and Atari.
Yeah, or a calculator.
Yeah, and it was really, and the games were really slow.
Yeah.
That 2-year-old kid is playing, and there was a study, and I read this in a magazine. Yeah. There was a study where, like, people in our age, like if you got on a PlayStation or you got on a Xbox, at least our age, in our age group, some of us can handle it, but a lot of us can't, because there's so many pixelations going on and things moving. Yeah. And the way the controllers are controlled, because we're used to the Atari, just one stick, do it all.
Exactly. Yeah.
These kids are with their fingers and stuff, and for us, it blows our mind. It's like it's too much.
Well,
coming at you. Whereas in reverse, if you let those kids play the same Atari or ColecoVision, it's too slow.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, when we played Madden, I remember the old Madden, it was so easy to play, but now they got so many different buttons. Yeah. I'm like, if I wanted to play that, I probably wouldn't even play it, because it's like, God.
It's too frustrating for us.
For us. I want to pass the ball. I want the guy to run through, like Technibo when you had Bo Jackson run over everybody. Right. I like that. Right. But now with these new things, you got to know how to pass, or hold down one finger. And
then get the rumble going.
Yeah. Technology.
But here's what I mean by technology. Like I said, we're talking about logistics. We're talking about a single-ized things. We have a lot of warehouses here.
Yeah.
Isn't Amazon currently right now testing well, not self, but piloted package delivery
Yeah.
using the drones.
Yeah.
So they're going to need people that know how to fly the drones within those complicated devices.
And we have March Air Force Base over there.
Right, which is a schoolhouse that does fly drones.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Meeting the challenge, okay? You just pick here again. You picked out a issue. Amazon doing the
they're testing that right now, right?
And now here's Moreno Valley College. Oh, they doing that? Wait a minute, let's go talk to these guys. And we have March Air Force Base over there.
Right
so
there.
let's make the connection and start training people to fit those roles.
And March has the room and the
Exactly.
capacity to give us a part of that area, or we could lease it from the government or
Exactly.
whatever.
But you see, that's what I'm talking about. Moreno Valley College has to meet the challenges because things like this is happening so quickly and rapidly. We should be able to meet those challenges.
So let me ask you this real quick. We got 5 minutes before we do the commercial break. Why is it that you think that you've got some board members, and we're not trying to dog the board members.
Yes.
What I'm saying is you've had some board members that have been on the board for quite some time, and you've got some that have gone on to be in the Congress that have done absolutely nothing, in my opinion.
Okay.
Why do you think that, it takes them so long to do certain things? I mean, they're always doing the same thing. Like if you're a politician, I'm going to have every pothole in the roads and I'll get every chicken in a pot.
Yeah.
Every cycle they say they're going to do, fix these things. But we're in a different century now. These things are faster, like you said. Why does it take them so long to get it?
Well, I think because maybe the era they grew up in, I would say that what they grew up in was probably old school, simple.
1950s, Eisenhower, everything is easy. World War II, everybody got a GI Bill and a house
and so people like us, I say the new jacks, I guess we call us, or the old jacks, whatever they call us.
Yeah, now we're the old jacks. Yeah.
But the thing is, we see things differently. It's just like you said before. You notice things in the community, just like you just noticed about the drones.
Yeah,
you notice about
the video games
and the truck driving and all this stuff. But because you look,
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. In your community, you see things are changing, rapidly changing, and we think like, well, how can we meet this challenge? If you're thinking that way, how can I meet this challenge? Who could I work with? Or let's create this pipeline, let's create this linkage so we can help each other in the long run to meet that need. If you need someone that's going to be doing this pilot drones, hey, Moreno Valley College, let's create this what we call it, the drone,
certification?
Yeah, drone certification program or aerospace. What is it?
Yeah, aeronautics
division. A division for certification. Maybe an associate's degree to go along with it.
Well, you got to think about this. You've got a lot of reservists that are drone pilots, and some of them are drone sensor operators, what they call them. They've been certified in the military. You can't be in the military forever, so a lot of those guys will be retiring, and they were looking for jobs. Yeah. And then you have somebody who's already ready to go to teach.
Well, they see again, and that's the thing. Just like when I talked to the PhD, Dr. Ken, I talked to him, and he was saying the same thing about he has students that want that's in this program that want to teach at Moreno Valley College or want to teach somewhere. But that same concept is you're thinking what's around you. You're not just thinking what's in front of you. You're thinking what's surrounding you. You see things happening, operating fast. You just don't see one certain thing and it's going to be like molasses, but we see things rapidly changing. All we do because we observe what's going around, and we read and we see things.
You're just paying attention to your surroundings.
There you go. You're in tune, and I think some of these, I guess academia folks don't see like we do.
Like I said, you go into meeting after meeting after meeting, and nothing's getting done. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know it takes work to get a grant of $1.5 million and all this other stuff, but we're talking about the general needs of the low-level new high school students coming in that want to transfer to get jobs or get a degree or certification that's going to be able where they can take care of themselves.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Moreno Valley College could do that and to inspire hope in those guys. Because see, what happens is some of these, we got all this brain trust. They leave the area and never come back because they don't see any hope because we don't have any industries that they're interested in. But doing like the aeronautic stuff and the drones, we could do a lot to keep the brain trust here and to develop and work with industries down at UCR with the research and development to create industries that we only can think about, and these kids will have something to grab onto.
Gotcha. We'll see you in the next hour.